How you doing, everybody? Daniel Mosnet here with Cowboy Charcoal, and we are making some chili beans today. Now, I know I've probably just made half of our audience really upset, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna show you how to make the best beans this side of Henderson, Nevada. This is gonna be a Texas style chili, but we are gonna add some beans in it. I know, beans, no beans, this one's gonna have some beans. So we had our oak and hickory lump charcoal going, we added some post oak chunks right to the top. We'll really let that get going, the fire going, and now it's just gonna smoke. So it's gonna smoke over these chunks for about 40 minutes once we get all of our ingredients in there, and then cook. And you can let this cook for an hour if you want, a little bit slower. It's totally up to you, but this is a great recipe for you to make for game day or just for a big old weekend Sunday chili beans, okay? So here we go. To get started, we're gonna add just a little bit of oil to our cast iron. You can hear that crackling already. And then from there, we're gonna add some ground beef right to the top. We're gonna brown all of this off. And this is gonna produce some moisture in here as well. You can see we're really firing up. We're probably cooking over about 500 degrees right now. We're over a little bit lower portion of the hottest part of the grill. And then once we're ready to let this cook, we're gonna elevate this and set it on the cooler side of the grill. So again, we're gonna use that 2-zone fire. Okay, while we have this broken down a little bit, we're using two types of beef today. We're using chuck roll. You can see this here. Okay, so you just take this piece, cut it down, chop it up into pieces. You could use beef stew meat, you could use New York strip, whatever you like, whatever you have available, go ahead and use that. I particularly like the chuck roll because it has a lot of fat in there as well, so you're able to get all of those fat flavors in your chili. It's not necessarily a light chili. It's gonna be a good chili. Okay, so once we've got our ground beef relatively well browned, we're gonna go ahead and add our chopped chuck roll right to it. And we're gonna brown all sides here. All right, we're just gonna mix it all together. So this is the base of our chili, right? So we're adding just some beans. My kids like beans, so this is a little bit of best of both worlds. All right, so now this is kind of settled down a little bit. And once this is settled down, you're gonna add our red onions right to the top, chopped garlic. Let those cook down. I like to wait before I put any additional ingredients in until the onions start to break down a little bit. To me, that allows them to accept more flavors. All the Rotel, the adobo chilies that we're gonna put in there, the seasonings. We'll let that cook for a couple minutes. And all in all, this is about a 45-50 minute dish. Doesn't take too long. Okay, so while this is cooking down here a little bit, again, we're cooking over oak and hickory lump charcoal, but we're also cooking over post oak chunks. Now, post oak, that's that true Texas style barbecue. That's what Texas is known for, is post oak. So we want to get that good post oak flavor. It's a very strong, hearty smoke, and that's going to stand up to all of this beef that we have in here, the adobo chili flavors, the El Mariachi from Spiceology, El Mariachi seasoning, the Ooomami seasoning we have going in there as well from GirlCarnivore. So you're going to get all of these layers of flavors. All right, so now that our onions are starting to break down a little bit, we've got all of our meat is browned, right? Seared off. Now we're gonna start adding all of our other ingredients. So we're gonna do 1 can of Rotel. Find it in any of your local supermarkets. It's kind of a Spanish style peppers and tomatoes in sauce. We're gonna add some chopped chipotle chilies in adobo sauce. We're gonna add that right. That's a very thick, hearty flavor as well. Now here, we've got a mixture. We've got Ooomami powder from GirlCarnivore, salt and pepper, and ground cumin, right? Now to top everything off here, we've got our El Mariachi seasoning. which is a Spanish style, Mexican style seasoning. And you can see how much you need. Okay, let's give all of this a mix. Now, this is where I'm gonna really kind of upset a lot of people, right? So, Texas chili, we stop right here, right? Henderson, Nevada chili, we take it a step further. Step further for a little better flavor, right? We're gonna have some white beans and some red kidney beans. I know how many people just cringed, okay? We're gonna put all of that in there. We're gonna stir all of this together. And then the same amount of the Rotel that you put in, you're gonna add that same amount of water. Okay, once we've got our water in there and we're well incorporated, we're gonna add the last ingredient, our tomato sauce. Gonna help everything come together there as well. And just incorporate, just stir to incorporate, that's it. Okay, so now that this is all incorporated, I'm gonna shut the lid. We're gonna let this cook for about 40, 45 minutes or so. We'll show you what it looks like with a nice big hunk of cornbread. Okay, so we're back. We've been cooking for about 40 minutes or so over our Texas post oak. We're gonna show you how we finish this chili off really simply. Gonna top it with some red onion. We're gonna top it with a little sour cream, some green onions, and some cheddar cheese. But first, so I don't make too many of our Texas folks too upset, we're gonna pair this chili with a little Treaty Oak Ghost Hill Texas bourbon, just over a little bit of ice. You know, Texas bourbon, it does have a little bit of a different flavor. It's made mostly from corn and American wheat. But man, it tastes good. It's got a nice, distinct flavor that's gonna pair really well with this chili. You can even pour a little of this in the chili if you want. All right, you can see that our chili is boiling. Our smoke has subsided a little bit, but during that cook, we've got a lot of really good smoke flavor here in the chili. We made a little bit of cornbread that we're gonna put right next to the plate. There's our chili. Grab our cornbread. Look at that. A match made in heaven right there. We've got just skillet cornbread. You can make this right out of the package. You can make it homemade from scratch, but right out of the package is pretty easy. And this is how I like to plate my chili. With a big piece of cornbread right on the side. We're gonna load it up with chili right over the top. Look at that, you got all those big chunks of meat. We'll add a little cheese right to the top. We can add a little cheese right to the top of the cornbread. Green onion. Add a little bit of red onion on top as well. One little dollop of sour cream. Now, if you want to continue the flavors all the way through, you can add just a little bit of your El Mariachi spice right to the top, just to give it a little bit of a kick. And there you have chili beans. We'll give it a taste here. It's kind of hot. Oh man. You know, those beans really just kind of even everything out. You've got nice big chunks of meat. That El Mariachi spice on the top, it's just perfect. I'm gonna go in for one more. Look at that. So many flavors in there. It's a little spicy, not too bad. That adobo chili makes it a little bit spicy. You've got that El Mariachi that's making it spicy in there as well. You can tone that down with a little of the sour cream if you want. Man, that's excellent. That's really good. All right, there you have it. Texas chili with beans, right here with some skillet cornbread, a little bit of red onions, green onions, cheddar cheese over the top. We paired that today with a little bit of Texas whiskey. Perfect, perfect for those low and slow afternoons. I'm Daniel Mosnet with Cowboy Charcoal. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe for these and so many more recipes. And until next week, we're cooking with Cowboy.